Welcome. It's a beautiful October morning. It's about 60 degrees outside, and I'm going to be bringing you my take on a Texas-style smoked brisket. Although I'm not in Texas anymore, I'm up in North Carolina. Brisket's always been one of my favorite cuts of meat, and I'll show you the way I do it. Uh, so let's get started with the meat. So I have here, it started off about a 13.5 pound brisket. After trimming it out, we're probably down to about 12 pounds. Something kind of small. I don't want to do anything too big. This is for a friend of mine who is having some health issues. Um, but all I got on it right now is just plain salt and pepper, and then I'm going to be smoking it over a lump charcoal bed with pecan chunks as my flavor source. Um, I haven't really found a good source of large wood to smoke with, whether it's hickory or pecan or mesquite here in North Carolina. So I just grabbed this at Walmart and use it with charcoal, and it seems to work out just fine. So now let me show you my fire. All right, and I don't have anything fancy here. This is just a char griller, and with the offset smoker attachment, I think I got less than $200 in the whole thing. It served me well. I've had it for probably 4 or 5 years now. Um, because it's kind of cool out, my temperature on my grill is only about 225. We'll see if we can't get that up by throwing some wood on it. But and unfortunately, it doesn't have a side door, so I have to open it up from the top, which kind of kills my heat for a little while. But there's my firebox. I'm just going to throw a handful of wood chips on it. And add a little bit more charcoal while I'm here, just so I don't have to come back too soon. I like to put a water bowl close to the heat source. It'll add some humidity inside the smoker and help keep the meat a little bit more moist as it's cooking, so that it doesn't dry out quite as fast. Alright, now here goes the meat. I like to put the fat side up, thick side toward the fire, and that way it'll take the brunt of the heat, but since it's the thickest, it'll help keep it cooked. I've already trimmed this down. Like I said, I trimmed probably 1.5 pounds of fat as well as some of the loose meat off of it, and we're going to let it smoke. I'll come back and check the fire about every 30 minutes or so. I'll see you soon. Alright, it's been about 30 minutes. So check my fire. We're going to go ahead and add some more charcoal on top of that. Sorry for the noise. Yeah, that should be good. Alright, and then we'll throw some mesquite. We will throw some of the pecan chips on top. Down inside there. Be careful not to burn yourself. Alright. Let's check the meat. Start to see it starting to caramelize right there on the end. Starting to darken up. It's looking good. We got plenty of water. Alright. We'll let it sit 30 more minutes and we'll check it again. Alright, we're about 2 hours in. I just added some more charcoal and some pecan. That way you didn't have to hear me rattle the bags by the mic. So we'll get that going. Let's check our meat. Checked it a little while ago, and the temperature had gotten up to about 375. So it kind of got this end pretty charred. So I turned it and moved it away from the smoke a little bit. It's crisping up pretty nice. Yeah, that's just all crunchy. Tastes good, but very, very crunchy. One of the issues that I have is my bottoms tend to get way overcooked, and so I'm trying to prevent that this time around. I'm gonna have to add some more water to my water dish. It's starting to get really low, but all in all, looks pretty good. Keep that away from that fire and keep that fire down a little bit. I closed my exhaust pipe on top to help control that fire. I just think I maybe put a little too much in too fast, and it just got a little hot. But all right, we'll check back in a little while. All right, so let's check it again. It's about 12:30, so it's been on about maybe 3 hours. Went ahead and threw some lunch on for my wife and I, so take that off real fast. Nothing like a little bit of smoked fish. Oh yeah. If I can get it off without tearing it apart. There she goes. Nice and flaky. We're gonna do some fish tacos for lunch. All right. And that's hot. Yeah, that end's starting to get a little darker than I want. I did put some water on it. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna take this tin foil and I'm going to cover up this end a little bit. Maybe I'll do this for it. Just to give that end a little bit more protection. Try not to get it to be completely burnt. Alright, we're gonna let that sit. Probably a couple more hours. We'll start checking the temperature soon and see when we want to wrap it in some butcher paper. I'll be back. Alright guys, so the brisket's been smoking for about 5.5, 6 hours now. I'm gonna open it up, take a look, see what she's like. Take a reading of the internal temperature. I'm gonna be looking for somewhere between 200 and 205 temperature. The meat thermometer should slide in, kind of like butter. Shouldn't feel any resistance at all. Now, when I first open it up, it's got a nice bark to it. The end is still not too bad. I mean, it's maybe a little crispier than I'd want right there, but other than that, it's pretty good. Meat's soft. That's a little hot. As Bill Engel would say, where's my sign? Alright. So we got an internal temperature of right at 202.8. So I think that's pretty good. Don't have any issue putting the thermometer in, no matter where I go. Stick it right in the end there, that hardest part. Again, 202. So I think we're right on the money. Let me move some of this stuff around so we can get a better look at it. Just kind of get that out of the way. Try not to spill it. Looks like a gorgeous piece of meat right there. The bottom's not burnt. I'm actually quite happy with that. Alright, so I'm going to transfer it into a pan. Put it here just in case, so I don't drop it. Sit there, right there. Here we are. Alright, now it's important to let your brisket rest at least an hour, maybe an hour and a half. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in the oven just like this, no temperature, but that way it'll cool down and rest slowly so that it has time to absorb all of that juice that is still left there. So we're going to put it in the oven and we'll see you in about an hour. Sorry, my mic's acting up. I think the battery's dead on it. So it's been resting for about an hour. Cuts nicely, a nice smoke ring to it, and it's soft, juicy, and pulls apart nice and clean. And that is one delicious piece of meat. I'm going to go enjoy this with my family. Hope y'all guys maybe learned something. So this is how I do smoked brisket, fast and hot. Thanks.